You did not find this message by chance. Heaven led you here. There is a divine schedule unfolding, and tonight carries a vibration that your soul already feels but your mind cannot yet explain. You may have noticed the air feels heavier, time slower, emotions deeper. That is not confusion, it is alignment. Saint Gabriel Archangel stands near you now, sent as a herald of timing, whispering that your love miracle has been marked in the book of heaven and its appointed hour has arrived. For a long time you have prayed for signs, wondering if heaven heard your tears. You have looked at the silence and thought you were forgotten. Yet every tear became a seed sown in divine soil, watered by patience and hidden faith. What you called delay was preparation. What you called rejection was protection. The hand of God has been moving behind veils too sacred for you to see. Archangel Gabriel now steps through that veil, carrying light that cannot be mistaken. He brings not only comfort but confirmation. He says that tonight is not ordinary. A decree has gone forth and your name was written upon it. Heaven has synchronized your path with the one destined to cross it, and what seemed lost will soon be revealed in divine clarity. Do not rush away. Stay in this sacred moment. Something is beginning to stir, a movement of divine alignment that touches the very story of your heart. The message is unfolding, and what happens next may rewrite the destiny you thought was sealed. The prophetic clock of love. There is an order to divine love that no human can alter. Saint Gabriel Archangel reveals that heaven does not work through coincidence, but through appointed hours. Every encounter, every separation, every silence was marked within a sacred calendar written before you were born. What you feel tonight, the restlessness, the anticipation, the soft trembling of your heart, is not random. It is the sound of divine timing approaching its hour. The prophetic clock of love is striking. Somewhere between the visible and invisible, the hands of heaven are moving. Gabriel speaks of this hour as one chosen for revelation, a window when the barriers between two souls begin to dissolve. You may feel drawn to reach out, to remember a name, to sense the nearness of something long awaited. This is how heaven signals that destiny is near completion. When divine timing arrives, there is no need to chase, persuade, or force. What belongs to your soul recognizes its moment to return. Gabriel says, do not measure this by the clock on your wall, but by the rhythm of faith. The time of manifestation does not belong to the world. It belongs to the one who aligned every heartbeat to meet at the right second. Breathe and listen. You are standing in the middle of a sacred intersection where heaven meets longing. The angels have prepared the path, removing unseen delays and bending circumstances to align with divine purpose. Within the stillness of this night, love is being dispatched, sent directly from the throne of mercy to find you where you are. Stay in expectancy, for the movement has begun. The hands of heaven do not turn back once the hour is set, and tonight they point to your miracle. The silence before the sign. There is a silence that does not wound, but heals. It comes from heaven, wrapped in mystery, and descends into the heart like a shadow of peace before dawn. Saint Gabriel Archangel reveals that this silence is not absence, it is orchestration. When you felt abandoned, when every prayer returned unanswered, heaven was not ignoring you. Heaven was moving pieces you could not see, writing alignments too sacred for premature revelation. What you called delay was the whisper of divine preparation. In the language of the Spirit, silence is movement disguised. It is the breath of God passing through the corridors of time, removing obstacles that would have broken what you were asking Him to bless. That is why certain doors closed so abruptly, why people you thought were forever suddenly withdrew, why the connection that once felt magnetic turned into quiet distance. The silence that followed was not rejection, it was preservation. For love destined by heaven must be pure enough to last beyond emotion. It must be born in stillness before it can bloom in light. Gabriel stands near you now, and his message pierces the fatigue that has built around your waiting. He says, "Do not measure heaven's love by sound. Many miracles are conceived in silence. You have cried in secret, asking if God saw how much it hurt to wait, and the Archangel answers that every tear became instruction for angels to act. Each sigh you released became a signal in the spiritual realm, summoning divine order. Nothing was wasted, not one night of ache, not one unanswered message, not one prayer whispered through exhaustion. In the silence, you were not being punished. You were being prepared to recognize true love when it appears. Heaven was stripping away illusions, detoxing your soul from attachments that blurred your discernment. The silence became a teacher. It revealed how to rest without losing faith, how to trust when logic collapses, how to love without begging for proof. What you did not know is that the one connected to your destiny was also being refined. Their own spirit stretched through lessons meant to synchronize with yours. Both hearts were learning the same language of surrender in different rooms of silence. Now, the atmosphere around you begins to shift. You may notice small signs, a sudden peace after weeks of heaviness, a dream that feels more vivid than memory, a name echoing unexpectedly, the hour mirrored on the clock. These are angelic tremors, the first cracks in the wall that separated waiting from manifestation. Gabriel wants you to know that silence breaks not with noise, but with recognition. When the soul hears what belongs to it, it simply knows. That knowing will not be frantic. It will arrive with stillness, the same stillness that once felt unbearable. Heaven often wraps endings and beginnings in the same quiet tone, so that only the faithful recognize the difference. If your nights have been filled with overthinking, if your prayers have turned into tears that no longer form words, place your hand over your heart now. Breathe once. Inhale the truth that silence is not emptiness, it is evidence of sacred construction. Exhale every fear that told you nothing was happening. Within this pause, heaven has been building a bridge between you and what was promised. And when that bridge is complete, movement will come swiftly. So swiftly that you will understand why it had to take this long. Archangel Gabriel's presence surrounds you tonight with assurance that the silence is ending. The unseen orchestration is reaching its crescendo. What was hidden is about to surface not as a coincidence but as divine proof that waiting never diminishes what is real. As this night unfolds, remain awake in spirit. Listen not for noise, but for peace. The silence that once felt like distance will soon reveal itself as the very space where your love miracle was formed. This is the moment before the sign, the breath before dawn, the hush before revelation. Stay still within it, because when heaven finally speaks, every second of silence will make sense. The war over your heart. There is a moment before every divine fulfillment when resistance rises. It is not coincidence, it is confrontation. The closer heaven draws to delivering what was promised, the louder the shadows try to interfere. Saint Gabriel Archangel reveals that love destined by God is never born without a battle. Every true connection has been fought for in the unseen, and your heart has been the battleground. You have felt the fatigue of invisible warfare, sudden doubt, heaviness without reason, memories resurrecting just to wound you again, waves of sadness that appear out of nowhere. These are not random feelings, they are the marks of a war fought over the purity of your heart. When heaven schedules a miracle, darkness attempts to sow confusion. It whispers that nothing will change, that you are unworthy, that you imagined every sign. These voices are not yours. They come from the remnants of disappointment, from the wounds that were never meant to define you. Gabriel stands as commander in this very hour, his light a shield of discernment separating truth from illusion. He says that the pain which resurfaced recently is the enemy's last attempt to make you give up before victory arrives. The pressure increased because you are at the threshold of manifestation. The closer the dawn, the darker the sky becomes. You may have noticed how people from your past reappear, how distractions multiply, how uncertainty grows just when peace begins to settle. This is how the spiritual realm tests the readiness of your heart. Not because heaven doubts you, but because love aligned with divine purpose cannot be born through instability. Gabriel wants you to know that every emotion rising within you is being purified by fire. The anger, the longing, the fear, each is being stripped of distortion so that only truth remains. There are moments when you think you are fighting alone, but around you stands a multitude. Angels encamp around those whose faith refuses to break. Psalm chapter 34 verse 7 declares, "The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and delivers them." This promise is unfolding now. You are surrounded even when you cannot feel it. Heaven has not left you defenseless. Every prayer you whispered through tears became a command released into the Spirit, summoning Gabriel's host to defend your heart from despair. Do not run from the battle within. Face it with reverence. When love carries divine assignment, it must pass through purification. Every doubt you conquer becomes part of your authority in love. Every tear you release becomes oil that anoints your faith. The ache in your chest is not weakness, it is expansion, the stretching of a heart being made large enough to carry sacred connection. Gabriel's voice moves through the storm and says, "Do not fear the shaking, it is the sound of chains breaking." You are not losing your mind. You are shedding the illusions that once chained your discernment. Every false attachment, every emotional dependency, every memory you replay until it bleeds, these are being burned away by heavenly fire. You are being set free to recognize love that mirrors heaven, not your past pain. The battle is fierce only because your destiny carries weight. The enemy fights hardest over hearts chosen to reflect divine union on earth. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe through the tension. What feels like breaking is actually birthing. The resistance surrounding you is not a sign of failure. It is confirmation that the promise is near delivery. Gabriel commands peace over your heart now. Let his words echo within you. You are not behind, you are becoming ready. The storm is proof that heaven is near. Hold your ground through this hour of pressure. The angels are active, the decree has been written, and your heart, though weary, is still aligned with heaven. When this battle quiets, clarity will rise like sunlight after rain. Then you will see that every attack was only proof of the power your love carries. You are almost there. The war is ending and peace is descending. The recognition moment. There is an instant when the heart knows before the mind understands, when recognition breaks through confusion like light through a cloud. Saint Gabriel Archangel reveals that heaven has orchestrated such a moment for you. The one written into your destiny is being guided by unseen hands, drawn closer not by chance, but by divine synchronization. This is not the shallow recognition of attraction. It is the awakening of remembrance between two souls that once agreed to meet again under heaven's gaze. That moment is near, and tonight stands as its threshold. Heaven has been sending signs to prepare your spirit to perceive this connection correctly. Dreams that felt too vivid to dismiss, numbers that repeat with sacred precision, songs that echo words you once prayed, the sudden thought of a name that brings warmth instead of ache. All are angelic markers, gentle signals to keep your faith alert. These are not coincidences, they are the language of the divine realm. Gabriel explains that before manifestation appears in the physical, heaven activates recognition in the spiritual. You begin to feel peace where anxiety once lived, clarity where confusion ruled. That is how the heart starts to recognize what heaven has already chosen. Recognition is not always comfortable. Sometimes it stirs old wounds because the soul senses both promise and responsibility. The one meant for you will not only comfort you, they will mirror the parts of you that need completion. Do not fear this mirror. Gabriel says that divine love exposes what still needs healing, not to shame you, but to prepare you for depth. Love built on destiny demands authenticity. It cannot survive behind masks. When the moment of recognition arrives, you will not need to explain or prove. There will be understanding beyond logic, an alignment that feels ancient yet new. Tonight, heaven invites you to prepare your spirit. Let go of assumptions about how this meeting should unfold. Release the timeline your mind created and allow God's timing to breathe. Gabriel reveals that sometimes recognition comes quietly, through a message sent at the right second, a dream that stirs your heart before sleep, a sudden stillness in prayer where you know something has shifted. The sign will not be forced. It will arrive like a breath of truth, undeniable and pure. Take this moment to open the eyes of your spirit. Ask in silence for discernment, not confirmation from fear. Many miss their divine moment because they seek spectacle, yet heaven often moves in subtleties. Gabriel reminds you that Mary recognized the divine not through appearance, but through presence, when the angel's words carried peace that silenced her fear. Luke chapter 1 verse 29 says, "She was greatly troubled at his saying and considered what manner of greeting this was. Even in her uncertainty, she knew heaven had spoken. So it will be with you. Your spirit will recognize the vibration of truth before your mind forms words. When the sign appears, do not question it into silence. Trust the peace that follows. It may not look like what you imagined, but heaven's design rarely fits human expectation. Sometimes recognition comes disguised as reconciliation, sometimes as closure, sometimes as an introduction that feels like remembrance. However it arrives, your role is not to control, but to receive. Gabriel says that love born of heaven does not need to be chased. It reveals itself to those who are awake enough to notice. If your heart begins to stir tonight, through a memory, a message, or an unexplainable pull, pause and listen. Heaven is speaking in symbols, and the messenger stands near, opening your spiritual senses to perceive what eyes cannot. The energy around you is shifting because alignment has begun. What you once sought through striving is now approaching through surrender. The recognition moment is holy. It is when faith meets fulfillment, when the unseen becomes visible. Gabriel's voice carries through this very hour, declaring that heaven's plan is unfolding with precision. Stay attentive, stay tender, and stay in reverence, for the one your heart is meant to know may already be reaching for you in spirit. Before this night ends, your soul will understand what words could never teach. The message of healing and readiness. There can be no divine union without divine healing. St. Gabriel Archangel reveals that heaven never sends love into a wounded heart without first restoring its capacity to receive. Tonight, the heavenly current that flows through this message carries not only promise but purification. You have been praying for a miracle in love, but heaven has been answering through healing. Every delay, every distance, every tear that fell unnoticed by the world has been part of your preparation. Heaven cannot pour sacred love into a vessel cracked by pain, so the mending had to come first. Gabriel speaks softly now, yet his words strike deep. You are not behind. You are being rebuilt for love that does not vanish. He shows the image of your heart as glass reforged in fire, strengthened by every season of breaking. The betrayal that left you questioning your worth, the abandonment that stole your trust, the silence that made you doubt your prayers, all of them have become ingredients in your anointing. Nothing in your story was wasted. The pain that once silenced your faith is now becoming the very ground where divine love will stand secure. This night carries an anointing of emotional resurrection. You may feel memories surfacing, moments you thought you had buried. do not run from them. They rise not to harm you, but to release you. Gabriel says that heaven is touching the deepest layers of your soul, those corners that still flinch when love approaches. The angels move gently, cleansing your spirit of the residue left by promises broken too soon. Forgiveness, though heavy, is the key that unlocks this final phase. Not the forgiveness that excuses the wound, but the kind that frees you from carrying its weight. Take a breath and place your hand over your heart. Whisper inwardly that you are ready to be healed. Healing is not forgetting. It is remembering without pain. Heaven is not asking you to pretend the past did not hurt, but to allow divine light to rewrite how it lives inside you. The human mind revisits pain to understand it. The divine heart surrenders it so that peace may take its place. Gabriel stands beside you, and the radiance of his presence dissolves the shadows that have kept your heart guarded. He says, "Your protection was necessary once, but it has served its time. You can open again." The readiness heaven seeks is not perfection, it is softness. Readiness means you no longer hide from love out of fear of being broken again. It means you have learned to trust the timing of God more than the pace of emotion. The Archangel reminds you that divine love is never rushed. It flows like a river prepared by grace, and when the banks of your heart are clear, that river will find its way. Tonight, that current is beginning to move. You may feel it as warmth in your chest, as sudden calm, or as tears that come without sorrow. Each is a sign that heaven's healing has reached the innermost chamber of your being. Heavenly restoration is not loud. It moves quietly through the soul, realigning what trauma distorted. It brings back the innocence of faith without returning you to naivety. Gabriel says, "What was taken from you will return purified." The loneliness you thought would never end was actually sacred solitude, shaping you into the vessel that could hold lasting love. Tonight, that preparation reaches its completion. Gabriel's wings move through your atmosphere, clearing the emotional residue of what once defined you. The pain does not need to go with you into this next chapter. Let it end here. As you release it, heaven receives it, transforming it into strength, clarity, and compassion. What was delayed will arrive unshaken. This is the hour when heaven repairs trust, not in people first, but in divine guidance, because only when you trust the giver can you safely receive the gift. If love were to arrive before your healing, it would become a bandage instead of a blessing. That is why heaven waited. Every night you felt unseen, angels were stitching the pieces of your heart with threads of gold. They were teaching you to recognize peace as the true sign of divine connection. The one destined for you is being healed as well under the same light. Two hearts refined separately, so they may meet without wounding each other again. This is the night of readiness. You are no longer the person who once begged for love out of fear of being alone. You are now the one who carries love as light, prepared to recognize the divine reflection that will meet you soon. Gabriel seals this truth upon you. You are ready. Heaven calls your heart healed, and because of that, love will find you purified. Stay in this stillness. Healing is the true miracle, and it has already begun. The manifestation portal, the hour of arrival. There are hours in heaven that do not follow human time. They open like windows between realms, brief, luminous, decisive. Saint Gabriel Archangel declares that such an hour has arrived for you. The alignment set long ago has reached its appointed point, and tonight, heaven's decree descends through the veil. Everything you have prayed for, every delay you have endured, every tear you thought was forgotten, has been carried into this moment. The spiritual clock has struck its mark, and what was once distant begins to move toward you. Gabriel's wings extend through the unseen, stirring the air with anticipation. He says that when heaven chooses to manifest, it does not send hints, it sends convergence. Suddenly, events that seem disconnected begin to thread together with impossible precision. The message left unanswered finds its reply. The silence between two souls becomes charged with unspoken recognition. Circumstances shift as if time itself bends to deliver the promise. This is not coincidence. This is heaven fulfilling the design it wrote when you first said yes to divine timing. You may sense it now, a subtle electricity beneath the surface of ordinary life, the feeling that something sacred is about to unfold. That is the manifestation portal opening. In the spirit, Gabriel stands upon it like a gatekeeper, ensuring that what enters your life tonight carries the purity of divine intention. He warns, do not rush, do not grasp. Miracles are not caught, they are received. Remain in reverence, for impatience can close what heaven is unveiling. Stand still, breathe deeply, and allow grace to do what striving never could. Heaven's manifestation rarely arrives in thunder. It often appears disguised as simplicity, a message, a call, a word spoken at the right second. Yet behind that moment is an entire army of angels who have labored to align it. Gabriel says that as the portal opens, synchronicities will multiply. Time will seem to compress, and signs will converge. The world calls it coincidence. Heaven calls it completion. The spiritual current moving through this night carries the essence of restoration. It is the return of what was meant for you, refined and holy, stripped of distortion. Close your eyes now and imagine light descending, not around you, but through you. Feel the shift, the weight leaving your chest, the clarity entering your mind. The portal opens where faith has been tested and found unbroken. It opens where surrender has replaced desperation. That is why it comes tonight after all you have endured. You are ready to receive without fear. Gabriel speaks softly. Do not end this night without prayer. Heaven is open, and what belongs to you is passing through. In this hour, your task is simple. Be awake. Angels move swiftly when hearts are still. Say within yourself, I am ready to receive what heaven has prepared. Those words, spoken with faith, mark you in the spirit as one prepared for blessing. As you speak them, Gabriel seals your declaration with light, ensuring that no interference can divert what is being sent. The manifestation may not appear in the way your mind expects. Sometimes it arrives through reconciliation, sometimes through new beginnings, sometimes through the deep certainty that you are no longer waiting, you are living in fulfillment. Gabriel reminds you that manifestation is not always an event, but a transition. It is the crossing from prayer to possession, from longing to gratitude. That crossing is happening now. Look around you tonight. Notice the air, the peace, the subtle sense that something invisible is watching over you. It is. The angels stand positioned, guarding the path of delivery. The word delay no longer applies to your story. Heaven has declared motion. And once heaven speaks, nothing on earth can reverse it. This is your appointed hour. Do not doubt it, because it feels gentle. The wind that parts seas often begins as a whisper. The love written for you is moving closer, steady as sunrise, unstoppable as truth. Gabriel raises his voice one final time in this chapter and proclaims, "The hour of arrival is now. Heaven's decree has been released. What was promised is approaching in the language of miracles. Stand in faith and watch the night deliver what eternity designed. Remain still, remain expectant. You are standing in the center of the miracle you prayed for. The prophetic blessing, seal of the messenger. The message reaches its sacred conclusion, but heaven's movement continues beyond these words. Saint Gabriel Archangel stands before the throne of God, holding in his hands the scroll that bears your name. It is the decree of restoration, the divine document of what heaven has authorized for your heart. The seal has been placed upon it. Not tomorrow, not someday, but tonight. What has been written in the Spirit will now begin to manifest in the visible world. Every delay breaks under the weight of divine timing. Every wound that once blocked your faith is being touched by light. Gabriel speaks with gentleness, yet carries the gravity of eternity. The season of loss is over. What you have surrendered in tears returns multiplied in grace. Heaven calls you chosen to experience love that reflects the heart of God. He reminds you that this love is not fragile or conditional. It has been refined through testing, preserved through separation, and resurrected through faith. It is love that will stand not because of emotion, but because heaven sustains it. In this final moment, feel the atmosphere shift around you. It is not imagination, it is impartation. Angels are descending with what was prepared in silence. They come to deliver peace, to anchor hope, and to awaken the deep knowing that you have entered divine alignment. Gabriel's wings cover you, creating a shield of clarity so that no confusion, no fear, no voice of the past can distort what heaven has spoken. The battle over your heart is finished. The decree has been signed. You may still hear echoes of doubt trying to return, but they no longer have authority. You have crossed the threshold. Where there was sorrow, joy will take root. Where there was longing, fulfillment begins to grow. Where there was uncertainty, peace now reigns. The Archangel instructs you to rest tonight without fear. The work has already been completed in heaven's dimension. Your only task is to remain in gratitude and trust. Gratitude is the posture that keeps the portal open. Take a slow breath and place your hand over your heart once more. Gabriel's presence draws close as a whisper of wind. He says, "You have been seen, you have been chosen, and you have been remembered." These are not words of comfort alone. They are a divine verdict. The waiting season has ended, and recognition now unfolds. Within the next hours and days, you will perceive subtle confirmations. Peace replacing anxiety, synchronicities multiplying, communication restored, or a profound inner certainty that you are no longer waiting. You are receiving. Lift your eyes to the unseen. The Archangel declares that heaven's timing cannot be undone by human hesitation. If something leaves again, it will return sanctified. If something arrives now, it comes sealed in divine purpose. Nothing meant for you will pass you by. Not when the decree has been released. The promise was not a dream, it was prophecy waiting for its appointed hour. And that hour is now. Gabriel raises his hand and releases the blessing over your heart. May the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, guard your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus. This is Philippians chapter 4, verse 7, the eternal protection spoken for those whose hearts have surrendered to divine timing. Let that blessing settle within you. It will follow you through sleep, through waking, through every encounter that carries heaven's scent. Tonight, the scroll closes, the seal remains, and heaven records your yes. You have answered the call. You have stood through the silence, endured the war, received the healing, and witnessed the arrival. Now you live under the decree of restoration. The angels withdraw not in absence but in completion, leaving behind an atmosphere marked by light. Gabriel's final words echo softly but eternally. What is meant for you will find you tonight. The path is open, the promise alive, and the love ordained for you is already on its way. Remain still, remain expectant, and sleep beneath the wings of peace. For the messenger of heaven has spoken, and his seal will not be broken.